Okay, today is a little bit of a review and a walk around of a Pioneer integrated amplifier made between 1983 and 1985. This is it's an A30. Let's power this up. Okay, a little bit of a relay click. So it's got a D-thump circuit in there. It's got A and B speakers, which work in parallel, by the way, so you can have both of those on at the same time. What you do find, and I have hooked both two sets of speakers up to this, when you're running two speakers, it reduces the power output, so you don't get quite the 40 watts per channel into A and B speakers. So it basically has to split between them. But you've got 1/4 inch stereo phones, bass, which is plus or minus 10 dB at 100 Hz, treble plus or minus 10 dB at 10 kHz, and left and right balance with a center detent. And they've got click stops on all of those, which is quite nice, but the balance only has a center detent. It's also got a loudness control, and unusually you've got tape 1, which is normal, but you've also got tape 2 as well, so you've got 2 tape loops in this, which is a little bit, as I said, a little bit unusual. Also a phono stage. Now the phono stage has a sensitivity of 72 dB compared to 102 dB sensitivity for all of the other RCA inputs, with a 150 millivolt output on the outputs from this amplifier. So just have a look at the detail here. On the tuner selection, you get a tiny little indicator of a tuner. On phono, you get a little picture of a turntable. Tape 1 tells you that it's got a little indicator of a tape deck. And CD, what do we get? You get a little indicator there as well, a little auxiliary indicator. So just a very, very nice little bit of detailing on the input selectors. Anyway, let's go back to tuner. And at the moment, what am I listening to? I'm listening to a Hitachi FT-M70 quartz PLL synthesized tuner, also from the same period, released in 1981 to 1982. So 40 watts per channel, 0.05% total harmonic distortion, which is pretty good. You got to remember that 100 watts a channel is only twice as loud as 10 watts a channel. It actually sounds really quite nice. Alright, it's finished in beautiful brushed aluminium. I really like silver stuff. Later stuff that is black is actually really, really difficult to read during the daytime or at night time, and it's impossible. I've given this one a very, very good clean, and it is absolutely beautiful. So just a bit of a tour of the back here. So we've got our phono inputs, we've got a ground for the phono stage, RCA for tuner, CD auxiliary, and you've got to remember that CD had only been out for 3 years. So we've also got our tape 1 or our tape 2 loops here. So again, quite unusual to have 2 tape loops. Also, unusually, you've got a phone's output stage there. Also A and B speaker binding posts. These are not really suitable for thick 16 gauge wire, but they are suitable for, and they're just nice, easy press-in clips, but they do the job. And you can see here, stable between 6 and 16 ohms. So, a little bit of detail on the model number, 270 watts consumed, model A30. Now, confusingly, if you're searching for this, you'll find that there's another model that comes up called the A30 that was released in 1991. That is completely different to this model. They've just recycled the model number. Anyway, quick tour, quick listen of this amplifier. It's quite nice. This one's going back to a customer. I fixed it. It's working really, really well, and it is quite a nice little amplifier of its time, of early 80s, and I love all this old hi-fi stuff. It came to me dead, and basically we had some problems with a capacitor on the power supply, and I found some dry joints. So anyway, it's now looking fantastic. I've given it a very, very good clean. So at the moment I've just got this plugged into my phone so we can have a bit of a listen. And what we're listening to is a couple of Pure Acoustics speakers. Now what you find with these ones, I'll just go around the back and show you what they are. the Royal series. Now I've pulled these apart. These are absolute rubbish. So you do get 1, 2, 5-inch drivers, a 1-inch dome tweeter, and this one is actually a passive radiator. So even though they're bass reflex, and you can see the bass port down the bottom here, this speaker is a passive radiator, so which is pretty hilarious really. Now this amplifier is rated at 40 watts a channel, and I've got loudness on there. Now it actually doesn't decay with bass, which is really nice, and often what you'll get with amplifiers like this is that when you go to one channel or the other, you find that you get a better bass response on one channel rather than with both channels driven. But with this one, the bass response is really flat and even across the range, which is really nice. So quite an impressive little amplifier. It's got a little bit of line noise. It does drive A and B speakers, so I've got some little test speakers on the bench here, which are actually Onkyo 2-way bass reflex speakers, and this will drive both speakers driven, but not particularly well. So there's a lot more power being delivered when it's only driving one set of speakers. So all in all, a pretty basic integrated amplifier made between 1983 and 1985. Anyway, just a little tour of this amp. Beautiful, plenty of power. And for a medium-sized house, 40 watts a channel is ample.